fake Facebook man, posting lies about my life which no one else can. Filters on my face to disguise my age, showing money that I don't have. There's words on my page. Why don't you come and join my team? It's called living the fake Facebook live dream. If they post a pic of me deeply, but it's pizza and burgers for dinner, you know what I mean. A snapshot of vacations that I got no money to take. Send you one of my sports cars, you know that it's a fake. Got my love loaded up with things that aren't even true. Pretending on Facebook is my thing too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2,000 friends, which I've never done met. A pic of my lunch is what you gonna get. I had a post of your baby, say it's one darn cute kid. But I lied cause it's ugly, that's called an online fib. I talk about success in my job and the pending promotion, but in reality it's a psych cause I got a demotion.
Only the fake Facebook man, posting lies about my life which no one else can. Filters on my face to disguise my age, showing money that I don't have. There's words on my page. Why don't you come and join my team? It's called living the fake Facebook live dream.
You blocked me on Facebook without a judge, jury, or trial. I'll be creeping you the next day with a shiny new profile. See a pic of my family? Yeah, we're having a good time. Well, the joke's on you. We have not talked in 8 months or 9. I'll tell you about the weather and the stuff you don't need to know. I'll fake a good illness so the sympathy will grow. I'll ask you to donate to my made-up cause and post selfies on the daily. That ain't breaking no laws. So don't judge the life of the fake Facebook man, pretending to be happy like no one else can. Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Jamie? It's a Tuesday night, February the 2nd, and here we are with another episode of KINZ and KLOMP Live with a big special shout-out to tonight's episode sponsor, Wilson's Elite Auto Detailing. Richard Wilson tuning in this evening, and he's jumping on board. And I love his card. If you're happy, tell others. If you're not happy, tell us, and he'll fix it. Right? Nothing worse than that.
He's one of the most amazing success stories in our community. Rapid growth, because if you've ever had your vehicle detailed by Richard Wilson, he will not stop this guy until it's perfected. And like I mentioned on the last show, which he sponsored, Kinsman, like we brought in our 2 vehicles there, and the dogs, disaster, hair and mess and food and drool. That guy made these vehicles like showroom condition. So we love Richard Wilson, Wilson's Elite. He does a lot of support in the community also, and just amazing. We're so happy to have him back.
And he's also a sponsor for next Thursday night's KINZ and KLOMP Live Valentine's Day Trivia. And I'm holding a $100 gift card that he's donated to us times 3. And he's also added in $75, $375, Richard Wilson and Wilson's Elite Auto Detailing giving away for one of the prizes for February the 11th at our KINZ and KLOMP Trivia, which has now surpassed, Jamie, are you ready for this? Okay. Over $2,400.
Oh my God, 24.
Yes.
Last time it was 600, and now it's 2,400. So if I do my math right, 4 times as much.
4 times from trivia night number 1, and it's just amazing the support and the love from the community, the businesses surrounding area. We even have Hearst jumping in on board. I know Typers is back in, Christelle, and also Row Distillery with Loon Vodka also in for next Thursday night's big night.
Okay, so I want to talk about something cool tonight. Once again, up in the banners,
Yes.
we are giving away a Domino's Pizza family meal. So what's in this family meal, Kinsman? You got the box.
This is what Josh at Domino. It's hard to see this. This is what their gift certificates look like. It's an actual box of pizza. Someone's going to win this tonight. Now, it's hard to zoom in on that, but it's 2 free large pizzas, 3 topping pizzas from Josh and Domino's Timmins. And it also includes a cheesy bread and a 2-liter Coke product. And he wanted to throw this in just in time for Sunday's KINZ and KLOMP, the pre-Super Bowl party that we're throwing. So he's going to give it away tonight, so you'll have it in time to go order it just in time for Sunday.
Awesome. So what we're asking folks to do, because, we like some engagement here, is tell us about your best vacation you've been on. And if you haven't been on a best vacation, maybe where you're planning on going on vacation right after all this COVID stuff ends. So jump it in the comments. We'll go through a bunch of them at the end, and we'll pick one winner. And I love Domino's Pizza. That's one of the best prizes, Kinsman, right there, right?
It sure is. And again, thanks to Josh and to Jacob. It was Jacob hooking me up with Josh, and Josh hooking us up with the free za from Domino. So thanks again as we dive into the show this evening.
Okay, so there's a couple things we wanted to talk about. Groundhog Day is today, correct?
Yes, it is. February the 2nd. And hard to believe that we believe in a fabled tale about a groundhog setting us, 6 more weeks of winter, or will we get an early spring? My question is, does it really matter for us here in the north? Because, we're so far north, it's cold. It's 6 more weeks of winter regardless for us. Isn't that, Jamie?
Well, the thing I find most ridiculous, I believe the original groundhog is from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Punxsutawney.
Right, and now there's all these phony groundhogs, right? They pop up in every city. So who do we believe? Who knows? But you're right.
Up in every city. Everybody's got a groundhog. Here's another thing. These animals are normally hibernating right now, right? So do we really believe an animal that they've now poked, I picture them poking a stick into their den, or, their little structure that they pull these groundhogs out of, and say, here, Punxsutawney, Phil, let's show the prediction. Are they giving us a correct, accurate count for an early spring or a later winter? But here's what happened today. Punxsutawney Phil says a longer winter. Well, our Canadian counterparts, Billy the Groundhog in Alberta. Billy, it's Balzac, Alberta. I've never been, but Balzac Billy is their version of the groundhog. He says that there's 6 more weeks of winter. Sam in Nova Scotia says early spring, as did Wyerton Willie, also saying an early spring.
Wow. That's a lot of groundhogs telling us about weather that we already know. All right, Kinsman. I like to call it Mount Jamie, son, but Mount Jameson.
Yes.
Some activity happening there, right?
Yes. Well, they're getting creative as COVID has dealt quite the card. As I say, it's a 7-deuce offsuit in the game of poker. If you play Texas Hold'em, 7-2, the worst hand possible. But people are getting creative and finding ways to, get out there and to open their facility. Of course, with the ski hill, the whole issue was people from down south were coming up and using our ski hill, and that creates a bit of a threat for the virus spread. So now to do something safely, because they're allowed, you're not gathering at ski lifts or chalets. They've now introduced skiing and snowshoeing. And they have an operating night with snowshoeing. In fact, this Friday, if you follow the Jameson Ski Hill on Facebook, the night is called Sunset and Starlight Snowshoe Evening. Okay. And again, Friday night, you get to put on some snowshoes and go gaze at the stars. How cool is that?
Snowshoe. Have you been snowshoeing before? Because snowshoeing is a pretty good workout.
It is.
Yeah.
I've tried them on. I haven't gone for a long hike. I tried them because I just wanted to see if you actually stand on top of the snow, and you do.
Okay, and that's it. You just put them on and then gave up from there, or what?
I'm more, when I go to a ski hill, any ski hill, I'm more of the chalet guy. I'll stay here. I'll try attempting going down the hill a few times, or go cross country skiing, or taking the attempt. But I'm always I'll look after the coats in the chalet and drink a few bubblies and wait till you get back. kind of guy.
We're getting a ton of comments about people's vacations. We'll definitely take a look at those in a bit. Brad says, or JPK, as they call me, looks blinded by the light. You're right. I got to dim this bulb here. This bulb here is like 400 watts, Kinsman. Anyways, I will work on that later because we have a couple quick more things, and then we're bringing on Colleen Landers.
Yeah, Colleen Landers, Sports for Kids Timmins, waiting in the wings. And yeah, she's going to come on and talk to us about how to get your little one involved with sports and find out what's going on with COVID, with everything shut with the restrictions and whatnot in just a few minutes. But we've got a big story on Spruce Needles. Spruce Needles sending out a message to the ignorant snowmobilers out here in our community.
Okay. So what is the message?
Well, the message is, I thought you were going to jump in here, but it says, we would like to remind snowmobilers that the golf course is private property and ask that you stay off the course. There's pictures of one of the holes, obviously covered with snow, but there's tracks of snowmobiles doing donuts and whatnot on what would be the green in the golf course on a nice sunny day. But these machines do rip up the turf, which rips up the grass, causes multiple thousands of dollars in damages. So they're just putting this is coming in from the Spruce Needles Board of Governors that you should not take your sleds in there because it is trespassing private property. My question is, why don't they have? They should put up those motion wildlife cameras, right? Tack them to the tree, and maybe catch the people in the act. But if you know anybody who's out there doing this, put a stop to it because trespassing is an offense. Okay,
I will do a story, but you have to know what's going on my end. I'm clicking things and moving things and bringing guests in. You have to pull your weight here, Kinsman. But I do want to talk about, so we had a winner for the latest TADH 50/50, yes. Jackie W. We couldn't get a confirmation on a last name for some reason. It's Jackie W. $268,535. Now, she's from Huntsville. So we did see some comments online, okay, congratulations, but we wish it was a local winner. But this is an Ontario run lottery, which any resident of Ontario could purchase tickets and win, correct? So
anybody. She picked it up. No, she does have a tie to this area because in the winner's comments, if you follow the message that's on the TADH Foundation and their website, she was up here due to her son-in-law who's from Hearst. And if it wasn't for the son-in-law, she wouldn't have picked up a ticket. And again, if you've got a valid address in the province of Ontario, Timmins District 5050.ca, anybody in the province of Ontario can pick up a ticket. And looking at the February draw, Jamie, drawing just over $33,000 was the last count that I saw just before hopping on tonight. And again, the February draw will be cardiopulmonary departments. And they need your support this month for Heart of Gold month. So the more the merrier. Could we get another $360,000 jackpot for the month of February?
All right. You took over my whole story, Kinsman. Sonia says back to the skidoos. Like we don't have enough bush for that, obviously. That's what we have here. It's a good point. And Mark Grant, even though it's Grant Mark on his Facebook, awesome people from outside the region that are supporting our hospital.
Definitely.
Good comments. Now, Kinsman, before we get our guests, I almost had it on the wrong side because it's opposite on the camera. You recognize my shirt?
Yes.
O'Gorman High.
O'Gorman High. You're a graduate from O'Gorman?
Oh, Kinsman, I'm from Thunder Bay. I told you that. But my children, my daughter and my son are graduates from O'Gorman High, and my little guy will eventually go to O'Gorman High. Love the O'Gorman schools, and now that he doesn't wear it no more, Dad wears it. He hands clothes down to me. I don't hand clothes down to them. So that's how I roll, Kinsman.
Great school. Thumbs up to O'Gorman. And also I wanted to mention thumbs up to our KINZ and KLOMP live mug maker, Melanie Duguay, MC Duguay on Facebook. She crafted these mugs, and I didn't just say it online that we love these mugs. This is my new drinking mug here, and Jamie's as well. Again, thanks to Melanie for helping out with the show.
Okay, you already gave Colleen Landers a brief introduction. Wonderful person. Sports for Kids Timmins. We're going to bring her on right now and find out what's been happening there because I absolutely love what they're doing over there.
I love what they're doing. They help out the less fortunate here in the city, play organized sports. So let's bring her in. I know she's waiting patiently. Hi, Colleen.
Hi.
How are you? How you doing?
I'm doing great, and thank you very much for having me on. I much appreciate it.
Well, thanks for being a part of KINZ and KLOMP Live. Again, Colleen Landers, the president of Sports for Kids Timmins. Now with COVID and all the restrictions in place, it has been, I guess, an understatement to say that it was a tough 2020. Can you take us through, the remainder of 2020 when the lockdown began and what you guys are doing to stay afloat at your end for Sports for Kids Timmins here in the city?
Well, 2020 was ups and downs. We gave out a number of vouchers and did end up giving out $36,000, but we had to close our office. We went remote. So in order to continue to provide the vouchers for the children to play sport, we remotely had the office and did it by phone and by email. So our fundraising was cut by about 60% last year because we couldn't have our Lever Sullivan and, couldn't have any of our fundraising events. But we're fortunate that, we have a reserve and we were able to continue to provide the sports opportunity. So 2021, we have our letters that have gone out to our businesses. Some of them have come back already. So we get no funding from the government or the city. We are a local charity that all the money stays in Timmins, and 95 cents of every dollar donated goes to a child from a low-income family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're very proud of that. We want to make a difference in children's lives. They should be active, and every child should be able to play sport. That's our motto, and we work hard at it. Right now, our office is remote again, but we are still taking applications by phone or by email. You can make an appointment, and Carrie, our office coordinator, will call and do it all over the phone. You can take pictures of your financials. We've kind of worked around the face-to-face, hoping we can get back in the office maybe after this lockdown. But we're fortunate Carrie has set up the office at her home. So yeah, so that's how it goes. Some of the sports aren't going right now. We have some that are still going on, like cross-country skiing and a few others. But we have been in touch with all the organizations, and if the voucher is not able to be used in the beginning months of say, then they'll be able to be used in the fall. So we're trying to now take applications for summer and fall, and we have a huge list. I think we have 42 organizations we've partnered with, and they're on our website at sportsforkidstimmins.com under sports contacts. So people can go and look and see what's available. We have from downhill skiing, cross-country skiing, to hockey, to skating. Many people think we just do hockey, but we don't. We dance, art, boxing, bowling, many sports. So there's a large choice for children, and we sponsor children from 4 to 18, and they have to meet financial thresholds. We can't help everybody. I wish we could. Maybe someday we'll get more money and we can, but right now we have financial thresholds they have to meet.
I think it's just absolutely excellent what you folks are doing. I believe that everyone to become involved in an athletic activity deserves to have that chance. These things are not cheap. Whether it's hockey or dance or judo or any type of organized activity has a cost to it. I'm very curious how you became involved. Was it related to like a personal experience or just something you were passionate about?
Well, Ann McDonald and I are two of the founding members. So we've been involved since 2000. And I always believed that my children were in sports. My son played AAA hockey, played for the majors, and then played junior hockey. And my two daughters figure skated. And we never had any problems because they didn't have time between their school sports and their other sport. School, sports activity, and home were the main things that they did. And I just felt that every single child should have that opportunity. So there were a group of us. We ran it was the provincial AAA tournament. And we made $80,000, and then we launched. We were under Kids Sport at that time, and we made the decision because we can make our own decisions as a board now. We are a local charity, and so if we want to increase the thresholds or we want to give out more money, we don't have to go to a national organization. So we found with our businesses that they were much happier to sponsor or to donate if it was staying in Timmins. And so that's the decision that the board made about 4 years ago. And we changed our logo, we changed our name, and our colors, etc. And we are a Timmins charity now.
Nice.
Yeah, it's so exciting having kids that went up through the program. So once again, just to confirm, if you're a family who is in need of this assistance, they can contact your office, and your office will walk them through the program. Of course, there's certain thresholds in place in order to qualify, but there's people at the office that can assist them step by step.
Yeah, or they can go to the website. So if what we did is, if you have one child, your gross income can be $31,000. If you have two, it's $35,000. If you have three, it's $40,000, and if you have four or more, it's $44,000. And each child in that family can apply for sports and equipment up to $350 per child, and it can be one or two vouchers. So it can be two vouchers, say for dance, for spring and and for fall, or it can be one voucher, for the year, which some sports do take. We have arrangements with many of these organizations. They've partnered with us, which is really great. So they give us a little bit of a break sometimes, or they'll give, so for instance, the ski hill. We pay them $350, and that person can ski and get free rentals. So it doesn't cost them anything out of pocket. And that's a partnership we have with them and with the organizations. All the sports organizations, we have their logos on our website. We, give them some sponsorships in regards to saying who they need to contact, their fees, etc. And we renew those sponsorships every year. It allows us to help more children, and we thank them very much. And we thank our businesses. Without those people, and some of the individuals, we have individuals that sponsor a child every year. Some of them will sponsor 2 or 3, and some of them will sponsor in memoriam. So if someone passes away, to me, it's a living legacy. All my in memoriams go to Sports for Kids because I feel it's local, it's helping a child, and it's a living memory in my eyes.
Now, when it comes to donations from, let's say, businesses in this city, obviously the more the merrier. Do you have a website or a direct EMT link on your website that they can go and click and maybe send a donation tonight if they would like to?
They can. We have arranged e-transfer, so they can just do an e-transfer right directly to our email, which is sportsforkidstimmins@gmail.com. And that will be a direct. We appreciate if they're going to do that they send us an email so we know who it's from, etc. And then we give charitable receipts. We have a charitable number that's federal. It's the highest ranking. And so we are allowed to give charitable receipts. And so that will give them a tax break when they do their taxes next year.
Excellent. Again, sportsforkidstimmins.com. Grant posting a comment there. What's the email again? sportsforkidstimmins.com. What were you saying there, Jamie?
No, I just wanted to thank Colleen for all the hard work they're doing over there and assisting families and the children's getting into athletic programs. It's tremendous. That's the simple word. It's absolutely tremendous.
Well, I want to tell you, we've made changes in children's lives. I mean, nothing's easy. In regards, we have some people that aren't happy with some of the things we do, and we have many that are very thankful. But we have changed children's lives. I can tell you a story of a young boy, 14, got into trouble, was from a family that was not the best situation, and his parole officer knew he was a great kid, so he contacted me. Mm-hmm. We put him in boxing. We did his boxing 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. He sent me a letter He went to college, and he said, without going into boxing and sports for kids, he would have probably ended up in jail. So I think if you can change one child's life, it's worth the work you do.
Absolutely. And obviously you made a dramatic impact on his life. And I'm very sure many others, because it is a form of positive release of stress, athletic activity. And it's great. I hope you guys keep up the good work, and sounds like you have a good plan in place. And you're battling through with a lot of folks there, the current COVID restrictions, and you have a plan in place to help the families. It's really cool, right, Kinsman?
It is a very cool program here in the city. Me and Colleen and I go way back to when I first set foot here into the city of Timmins. Colleen, it's just amazing the work that you do, and seeing that you are the president. You're the know-it-all when it comes to making when the kids, like you were saying, they come to the fork in the road and have the choice to choose organized sports. There is a choice here. Now, some families might see this as, maybe they're embarrassed to, sign up with you. It's not an embarrassing situation. If a family is in need to get their kid involved with organized sports, this is, there's nothing to be ashamed of, is there, with this?
It's all confidential. It's all confidential. I mean, we use a voucher system, and the voucher has a number on it. It has to have the child's name on it, but the organizations know that it is just like a check. So they are treated the same. And everybody falls on hard times. I mean, we've had some people who we've helped for 2 years, and they come back when we call them, are you going to apply again? No, things have changed really good. We've even had some of them that have given us a donation and say, I'm on my feet now, thank you very much. So everybody has, times in their lives where they need help, and we're here. We're here to help the children, and we do it as confidential as we can, and we don't want anybody to be embarrassed to apply. And the thing is that our email is sportsforkidstimmins@gmail.com, and our phone number is 705-268-1112. We have an answering machine. We only are open Tuesdays and Thursdays, but at any time, if anybody needs any assistance, please contact me.
You're getting a lot of lovely feedback, and folks,
yes.
Same sentiment as ours. Really appreciate what you're doing for the community, and to top it off, thank you so much for coming on our show tonight. This is wonderful. People have asked us to post the email and the numbers. We will do that after the show, and to make sure anyone who missed it has an opportunity to seek out the resources from yourself and your team. But thank you so much.
It's not just me, it's a board. We have a board of 10 people, and we work as a team. And so I thank the board for all the support that they have done too. So it's not just me. Okay.
Right. A team.
Excellent. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Take care, Colleen.
Thanks, Colleen. Once again, Colleen Landers, president from Sports for Kids Timmins. sportsforkidstimmins@gmail.com is the email. And again, she reads every single email, and you can email any time of day, and Colleen will always get back to you.
I was going to say, Colleen, like she says, it's not her, it's the team. And I've been not like Kinsman is taking all the credit around here. Right?
It's never, there's no I in team.
Okay. I know.
No I in team.
All right. So we have our other guest already here. Back to back, Kinsman. We're busy guys, you and I.
We are. We've got a lot of connections. And the next gentleman, I've had the pleasure of working with him over the course of my career. He's been a great mentor to me, and now he's branched off and is now a travel agent for Mallard Travel. Goes by the name Mike Allard from Mallard Travel. Hey, Mike, welcome to KINZ and KLOMP Live.
Gentlemen, it is an absolute honor to join you. And Mark, I'm just keeping a note here. That intro was worth about 75 cents. I appreciate that.
There we go.
I'll send the EMT right now.
No, wait, I was going to pay you, but okay.
Thank you so much for joining us, Mike. So much to talk about. Obviously, working in the travel field since last March has been obviously really busy, crazy, and insane. And I know we do want to talk about the current restrictions, but maybe if you could just start by telling us, like, back up to last March, as a representative for people's travel plans, which sometimes are very big, you know, they're big dates, their wedding occasions, their family gatherings. I would assume having a travel agent by your side, especially in these terms where things are getting canceled, you're a busy man and probably were a big asset to a lot of folks.
Yeah, you know, we all pride ourselves on exemplary customer service, and that certainly, I think, has been demonstrated by travel agents all over Canada over the last, year or so. But in particular, many people got home because of the hard work and the diligence of travel agents, and it was an extremely trying time. I was on the road myself when the COVID shutdowns began. I was on the road on my way down to Nashville when literally everything started to shut down. And I had travelers at various places around the world at the time. And so it was a real interesting challenge to try and get them all home safely. But I was very, very fortunate with the help of some incredible suppliers and some very, very caring agents from these very great many companies. We were able to get everybody home safely. And that's something I'm very, very proud of.
Now, instead of cancellations, most people would think you're getting 100% cancellations, but that's not the case. You're actually getting rebookings because people want to see the light at the end of this COVID tunnel with a nice tropical destination or any destination. So are more people rebooking as opposed to canceling?
Well, initially it was cancellations by sometimes the clients, for those who were concerned about the news cycle that was developing back in March. So I did have a couple of clients who were proactive and said, hey, you know what, I'm just not feeling good about where COVID is. I'm hearing about this in the news stories and the news cycle. So I think I'm going to postpone my trip. And then there was a whole series of other clients where the suppliers were the ones who did the cancellations. So whether you were a family on your way to Disney, or I had families on their way over to Holland and to the Netherlands, and I had other people going to Cuba and all over the Caribbean, and some for other parts around the world. Many of those were canceled by the supplier. So people simply sat back and found out, your trip has been canceled. It's been pulled by the suppliers because we're not going to fly at various times. Now, you got to remember that it was an evolving story almost by the day back then. But I guess a year later, not much has changed. It continues to evolve by the day with the latest cancellations of all flights inbound, at least to the Caribbean and Mexico, from our federal government.
Certainly.
How many people are you seeing that, obviously, they're not booking travel plans for next week, but they're saying, I see a lot of good deals out there, so maybe let me book a cruise for November, and I'm banking on things settling down. Are there a lot of people that are forecasting, jumping on some current great deals?
There are a fair number who are forecasting ahead. I mean, the bottom line is we all want to make sure everybody's safe, and I don't want to send anybody anywhere if I don't think they're going to be safe. So quite frankly, I have declined bookings for people who do want to travel now to areas of the world where I just didn't think it was safe, or I've just recommended perhaps that's something you might want to book on your own or book with another travel agent. But in answer to your question, yeah, I have cruise clients who are going to be ideally, all things being equal and it being safe, they'll be on their way to Alaska come late August and into September. I have other clients who are planning hot holidays, getting back to that beach in the warm sun, toes in the sand, going in November and December and into January. I have cruise clients who have booked into 2022 and into 2023. And not everybody's ready to book right now, and I understand that. And I'm not for a minute suggesting to anybody that it's the time to book. What I am suggesting is, if you're comfortable and you want to put something on the book so you have something to look forward to, more than happy to share with you what the offers are and how we can safely protect that investment. And if you want to put a deposit down so that we can secure that time to give you something to look forward to, and more importantly, to lock in some of these incredible prices, yeah, certainly a good number of my clients have taken advantage of that. Some aren't ready. And as we say in Jamaica, and you know this well, Mark, and Jamie, you know it too. It's like no pressure, no problem. Well, sorry, that's more St. Lucia as opposed to no problem one. But yeah, whatever anybody's comfort zone is, that's what we want to accommodate.
Certainly. With international travel being halted now till April 30th, well, European flights anyway, out of Canada, do you find more people booking, within the country, maybe more Canadian trips now because of the recent cancellations?
I had a fair bit of that at various points throughout the past year, but the various travel bubbles obviously impacted that. I had a group of skiers ready to hit the slopes in Whistler at the last minute, given the travel regulations and the suggestions from the premier in British Columbia. They decided to back off that trip. I had others who did get into Atlantic Canada, but they were people who were able to accommodate the 14-day quarantine at the time with the Atlantic bubble that was in effect at the time. So more than anything, I'm seeing people do trips around their own province, trying to stay in areas they think it's safe, avoiding some of the hotspot areas. But for the most part, most people are sitting tight. I have a number of clients who are traveling into the States, a number who are going internationally, but certainly, as you mentioned now with the cancellation of the major airlines flying into the Caribbean and Mexico, all those hot holidays are on pause. Right now, our big efforts are to get everybody home safely, repatriating everybody as quickly as the airlines are able to accommodate that. And I got to tell you, a lot of times the major carriers, whether it's Transat, WestJet, Air Canada, Sunwing, they take a lot of heat for a lot of things. But when it comes time to getting people home safely, boy, they are exceptional partners. And I couldn't be more pleased with some of the exceptional work that they've done to help get some of my clients from Allard Travel home safely.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that's one of the biggest difference of using someone like yourself, an expert in the field. When you go on vacation, you just want to worry about the vacation. If there's going to be a problem, in the slight chance that there is, they have someone like yourself on their side to help them support it through it. And I would assume travel agents really came to the forefront here in the last 10 months or so, because a lot of people had to go for help.
Yeah, certainly, it has become easier to book online. And in a world where we all want convenience, that's got a certain amount of attraction. But if you have any kind of issues along the way, or even simple questions sometimes, or even a special request of something that you may want at a resort, that's a lot harder to do with an online booking portal, as opposed to having a champion who has a relationship maybe with the concierge staff at a particular resort, or can absolutely, with a couple of keystrokes, make sure that you are seated in the right plane and the right seat in the airplane, or to make sure that you have an adjoining room, or that you need a cot, or whatever the case may be, or you have a special celebration, so that as you're sitting and having dinner one night, the staff is aware that it's a special anniversary. Those are among some of the things that travel agents do. But you mentioned one of the key things, and that is avoiding stress. And in our world, we kind of list that as the third thing down. The first thing we want to do is save you some time. And we spend hours researching every single day. So, some people like to do that on their own, which is great. More than happy to take a look at your research and see if your recommendations for yourself are as solid as they can be, or more than happy to do that for you. And then as well, that personalized expert service that we get. And then the third one is the first one that you touched on, and that is avoiding the stress. Look, it's hard to pick that perfect beach location when you're investing your hard-earned money.
Yeah.
But I may have been there, or at least I know experts who have been there. So I can say, you know what, Jamie, you wanted a place where you're going to chill and relax, and Mark, you want a party place. Well, those are two very different experiences. So I'm not going to put you necessarily at the same resort. And I know you guys might like that, but there are other times when getting exactly what you want out of your vacation and having even it exceed your expectations, that sometimes takes the finesse of a travel agent.
Can you see the comment from Grant R. Mark at the bottom, Mike? He's asking if this is a relation of yours.
Rael Kober, Rael in Cobalt. I hope I am. We're a very small family, so I'll take all the Allards I can get. But to the best of my knowledge, I don't believe so. But we're all family at the end of the day.
6 degrees of separation. We're all related somehow, right, Mike?
I think we might all be, indeed.
Yeah. Well, listen, once again, I mean, lots of people's jobs and positions have altered dramatically in the last 10 months. And I can just imagine where, other places where it might have slowed down is probably the opposite in your field. And and being able to help people out from very tight predicaments, people that are probably very stressed out, especially if you're stuck in a foreign country, getting them home, or you fear losing your deposit or full money that you put into vacation, helping people get a credit or get all their money back. You probably brought a lot of relief to people's lives in the last 10 months. And I think that's a pretty neat story. And it once again shows the benefit of using someone who's a professional in the field.
Well, I'll tell you, a couple of things. One, every agreement that you have for travel or almost anything else in your life has terms and conditions and behind it. So having someone who knows how to interpret and read those terms and conditions so that they can best protect you and your investment, that's really important. I have some clients who were supposed to be hiking through Peru and they weren't able to go. And the company wanted to end their credit early in 2021. And I was able to easily negotiate the fact that we should extend that into 2023. So these two travelers who really are adventure travelers, they like backpacking, through interesting parts of the world, deep into the rainforest, they're going to get to do that at a time when they feel safe. So I was able to protect their investment. And then other examples, you talked about people being in a foreign country. And I mentioned, earlier, I was on the road down into Nashville when COVID first hit. And I had a traveler at the time who was a student who was in Groningen in Northern Holland. And she needed to get home. And there were no seats on any airlines. And through my connections with that particular supplier, I was able to get her the very last seat on a plane out of the country, home safe to her family here in Northern Ontario. I'm very, very proud of that. And I negotiated that in a blinding rainstorm in the side of the road in Coffee County, I think it was Kentucky or Nashville. Literally, with my cell phone hooked to a computer in the blinding rainstorm in a gas station when everybody was staring at me, but that didn't matter. What mattered was we were able to get her home safely. And I had other travelers as well, some who were in Cuba, some who were in the Caribbean, and some in various parts of the world. But it took a little bit of doing and some patience from everybody, but we got everybody home safely. So that was, that certainly made me feel very good. But if you ask, to your question about how busy are travel agents, it has been feast or famine. It's incredibly busy trying to maintain everybody's whether they're future cruise credits, future travel vouchers, depending on the supplier, or refunds where people were entitled to. So negotiating all of those, and all of those for most travel agents were done with absolutely no money. So we weren't being paid to do this. We were just taking care of people because that's what professional people do. So I've been able to negotiate great resolutions for all of my clients, and I'm very, very proud of that. And I know my fellow peers across the country have worked incredibly hard to do just that. And many continue to do that. I was negotiating on behalf of a client today and managed to secure some very nice refunds out of Disney, who've been exceptional partners to work with. Even though it was a non-refundable aspect of their booking, Disney stepped up and said, yes, we recognize this has gone on a lot longer, so let's take care of your people. And I love that. And that's the value of having a relationship, of being a Disney certified agent, so I can go in the back door, so to speak, have that direct one-on-one conversation and get that work done.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Mike. We really appreciate it, telling an interesting perspective of what it's been like from the travel side. And I think it's really awesome what you're able to do to help people out, because vacation is supposed to be a high point of someone's life, a point of release. And it sounds like you're doing your best effort to make sure that happens for folks, or will happen in the future. So we really appreciate you coming on and telling your story.
It's been my absolute pleasure. You know what? I think, those who are comfortable enough to book now to travel later, that's just good medicine. Having something to look forward to, especially as COVID has continued on and on and on. Have a travel agent help you find the perfect beach destination or whatever other exotic travel you want to do. Put that on your calendar so you can look forward to it. Right. And we're more than happy to help you do that and protect your investment at the same time.
Excellent. Do you have a website, Mike? Can they follow you online if someone wanted to? I know you've got over half a dozen clients up here in and around the Timmins in the north here. Maybe.
Well, counting today, let's make that almost a dozen. I added a bunch more today. So yeah, I have a number of clients in and around Timmins and Schumacher. It's a community I know well. I have a number through Northern Ontario. And of course, I do have a website at mallardtravel.ca. So But you can go to the website. You can find me on social media, Allard Travel, through Instagram or Facebook, or more importantly, we can just talk and have a coffee at any time. That's the favorite part of the job, is that one-on-one connection with everybody.
Excellent. All right. Thanks so much, Mike, for hopping on tonight, KINZ and KLOMP Live. And tonight, speaking of travel, that's tied into our gift certificate tonight from Domino's Pizza.
Your fantastic
story.
Fantastic
tonight, Mike.
All right. Take care, Mike.
Wonderful. Gentlemen, thank you. And thank you to Colleen. Boy, what an amazing volunteer for Timmins. She was absolutely lovely. I wish I was a kid still being able to go out and play sports. Have a lovely day. Appreciate your time, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike, for joining us.
What an awesome guy. Very interesting job. And I'm sure he has a million stories to tell, especially the predicaments, what happened to some folks. All right, you're right. So we are collecting comments. We're going to do that at the end of the show. We're getting there.
Yes.
People are telling us about their favorite vacation or where they want to go. Win some awesome Domino's pizza. I know a pizza comes over to my house, Kinsman. I'm eating everything the same night. So,
Well, here's the predicament with Josh and Domino's. They provide that cheesy bread. The cheesy bread itself is a meal in itself. Do you choose the cheesy bread first? Do you go to the pizza first? A little bit either or. What's your favorite there when you order the Domino's meal?
You asked. Okay, 4 pieces of pizza, then the bread, and then the wings on top, and it just explodes all over the plate. So.
And I love the gift certificates. Josh gave us this is an actual, someone's going to get this. I'm going to deliver this tomorrow. And inside, it's hard to read it there. 2 free large pizzas, 3 topping, and the cheesy bread. And you get a 2-liter Coke product.
All right.
With your win. Good luck.
Look who we brought on the screen. We said we'd give him a bit of an introduction. It was a big psych tonight. Boom, Mitch pops on the screen. But he delivered some awesome stuff there a couple days ago, and I know he's got something interesting to show us tonight, right, Mitch?
Well, I decided I would do along the similar line of the infomercials, because I had heard and seen some of these things talked about and tossed around the internet. So I decided tonight, if you bring the screen up there, I would introduce us to the strange world of stock photos. You guys know what these are, right?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
So there's these libraries like Shutterstock, I think has 80 million images. And if you pay for the service, you buy them a la carte, or I think you can pay for the service, kind of like a subscription, and use their entire library. If you're looking to build websites and presentations and all that stuff, we'll see if we don't get copyright dinged here as I showcase some of the strangest of the worlds of stock photos. Now, I should get into some examples if you don't know what I'm talking about, but I did find this very concise description of why this is a phenomenon. Quote, people create stock photos for highly specific things to create images for more niche markets with not much competition. Okay. At this point in time, a decade and a half, 2 decades into the stock photo online business, I'm sure there's a whole smorgasbord of, guys smiling at a computer stock photo, like one of those, like the normal ones. So in order to distinguish yourself, you start getting weirder and weirder.
Right.
For example, this, a birthday party during COVID-19 right there.
Right.
And we just, it just keeps going. This one's proof that I guess oranges are a government conspiracy. They're constructing one as we speak. They're grown in a lab in Florida. Now, what would you use this one for?
Baking?
Yeah, I think that's baking after a carbon monoxide spill.
Right.
Or
so this is
rails flying overhead, possibly.
So from Shutterstock.com, they kind of explain the phenomenon further. Quote, so why does weird sell? We asked our contributors featured in strange things. They told us that uniqueness in a photo can be more important than its technical quality. People who are buying photos have highly specific needs and will often opt for something that stands out from the crowd over one that's high quality, but otherwise standard. In other words, weird, like that.
Yes.
But sandal.
You got to wonder with some of these things too, because you are reaching out, but what context you use this on? It's like maybe like a shoe spray commercial or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that Justin Bieber?
It does look like him, eh?
Does.
A little bit. Or a young Brad Pitt.
Okay. Yes, a young Brad. What's going on here?
We've all felt this one when you're arguing with someone in the Facebook comment section. So, and this young lady has dad toenails apparently.
Oh, right. Okay. That's one way to sell a business.
That actually reminds me of Mike the Headless Chicken. Have you guys ever heard Mike the Headless Chicken?
I have, yes.
He brought around like state fairs for 3 years. He lived after being decapitated improperly, and then was walking around instead of. You ever done that awful thing of hitting an animal while you're driving, and then you got to finish him off because you can't just leave him there to suffer?
No.
This guy did. Well, okay. Well, then you're lucky. I've had to do that. That's been really unfortunate. But it's the right thing to do. You can't just leave it there dying.
Right.
Yeah, Mike the Headless Chicken. This guy thought the exact opposite. Brought him around state fairs for 3 years and fed him through an eyedropper. And this is not uncommon. I worked for a farmer who told me a similar story that his dad had done. He chopped a couple of chickens' heads off one day and laid them on the sink on the counter. It's a farmhouse, remember, when he's growing up. And then he goes, maybe washes up, does something in the other room, comes back, and there's this chicken without a head just perched up on the counter.
You got more or what?
Yeah, of course. We got the nun underwater. This one's got a story behind it. Dennis O'Clair took this photo. This is from pixie.com. Quote, the images from this one, production including the infamous nun underwater, have been licensed hundreds of times and have netted us over $12,000. This image made this guy $12,000. Jamie, are you in the wrong business or what?
Definitely, absolutely. Wrong business.
Cybercorn. This guy's Andres Pidias. Quote, I was actually only starting to explore a stock market, trying to find a niche that is not represented well enough. And I guess Cyborg Corn was that niche. The idea that the series was that in the near future, we might get some kind of technology that will allow us to improve our life, health, products, etc. A little bit of a window into the mind of the guy who did this. It's a whole series.
Oh, wow.
Now, this is a visualization of Tom Cruise's ego here.
Sure.
What we got going on here?
Selfies with a thief.
Well, if you break into a house and there's a young child there, you don't want to traumatize them, so you just pretend you're like some version of Santa Claus. You get a picture with them, ask them what they want for Christmas, and say you're coming back with that. Okay.
Seductive watermelon?
Yeah, seductive watermelon. And this one's great.
You're spitting in the rooster's face.
Now, the nun underwater guy says further, it's explained in Pixie further. Dennis stresses that no matter where your skills lie or what you're most comfortable shooting, it will take a lot more than just a few images of skylines or retired couples on the beach to be successful. In the ultra-visual world, an image maker has to understand the current visual language, the emerging trends, and the way that image is being used. Now, I love that description because it was very astute and distinguished, and juxtaposing that with, of course, this old Asian fella spitting on a rooster. Those real though, darling? Those real? You ever heard of the guy raised by wolves? This guy was raised by sewer gators.
Oh my God.
Now this one I like because I wonder if this one must have been made this year, but if it wasn't, it was very prescient for the things that we've all done this year.
Well, I'll tell you right back in that photo, that guy doesn't know the poor draft.
Yeah. Oh my God. I didn't even notice. Look, none of them do. Look at this all. It's the this is the meeting of this is the beer review group of the guys who like foam more than beer. They don't actually drink the beer. Once they're done with the foam, they just put the cup down to the side.
That's awesome.
Like this one.
Oh, okay.
That looks like the album cover for a band that unironically uses children's instrument in the recording of their music.
Right.
This is a picture of Mark and Jamie when working on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Let me introduce you in my new religion, ladies and gentlemen. If that interests you, you can send our emails to jamieclomp@outlook.com. And this one, I mean, I hate it when this happens. I really do.
Sure.
I really do. It's a little suggestive.
2020 was a sucker. A lollipop, right, for 2020.
This was actually a scrapped sequel to Disney's The Shaggy Dog with Tim Allen.
Sure.
They couldn't get Tim Allen back, so they had to get this lady. Ended up getting shelved. This one doesn't know who get discount Jason Segel.
Almost
yes.
like a Conan O'Brien.
and like I could have had 1,000 pictures of this because it just keeps going. It's wild. Again, there's 80 million in the Shutterstock library alone. So you end up with a couple of these. Every vegetarian, this is a vegetarian dream right here. Well, that's about it. I wrapped it up with the stock photos at that.
I always find, once again, it's if we can just get in Mitch's mind for a half an hour a day, Kinsman, who knows what we'll find. He finds the most obscure things. Those are good. Those are great. And we need additional marketing. We might have to hire Mitch, bring on some of these Shutterstock photos for us. What do you think?
I like the idea.
Now, may I end off with the Simpsons clip of the day? Because
yes,
I saw this last night and I just died laughing. How's that looking? Okay, I got my sound on. I just died.
We play it.
See, marriage is a lot like an orange. First, you have the skin, then the sweet, sweet innards.
I don't understand.
If I wanted to see a man eat an orange, I would have taken the orange eating class.
The eating of an orange is a lot like a good marriage.
Just eat the damn oranges.
All right.
And that's the end of that. But that gave me a good, wrong one. That gave me a good chuckle last night.
That's awesome, Mitch. Mitch, once again, love your segments. Always making us laugh. Send us the bonus material behind the scenes.
Just give a Google to type in WTF stock images. There's an entire subreddit for this if that interested you. But that goes without saying. I'm superfluous information in the modern era. Yeah, if you're interested in something, Google it. Thanks, Mitch.
All right, man. We'll check in with you soon.
Cheers.
He'll be back on Thursday. There we go. We've gone through almost an hour.
We have to give, we've gone through an hour, Kinsman. Time always flies when you're with me.
Time flies when we're having fun. Once again, a big thanks to Richard Wilson at Wilson's Elite Auto Detailing.
Okay.
He's the man to get your detailing done here in the city. And again, when you come to our trivia night next Thursday, Richard has donated $375 towards your next detail. And he says you can use them for anything that his shop provides. So $375, whatever Richard's services, you can put it toward, let's say, a vacuuming of Great Dane fur, right, Jamie?
That's right, Great Dane fur. So I'm just going through a couple of the comments.
Okay.
Someone asked what we were drinking tonight. Just water in my cup.
I had Pepsi still in mine from the last time.
The same Pepsi or new Pepsi?
No, new Pepsi tonight. New Pepsi.
Okay. James Ellis, how are you? How are you? No?
How are you? No. Maybe how are you now?
Yeah, we are good. We are good.
We're very good. Thanks, James. Sue says good evening. Good evening to Sue.
Yeah.
To Ann Landers. That was probably directed at Colleen Landers from Sports.
Yeah, you tried to make a joke. That's your friend Bruce. Bruce actually had a real good comment there. Here's Bruce. KINZ and KLOMP, just to let you know, you're being heard here on the Temiskaming shores. We love the show. Mark has more spikes in his hair than a California cop's spike strip.
That's it. Well, got to take advantage of it before it disappears, because we know what happens underneath the hat there, JPK. What happens when you take advantage of, or I guess you take for granted having a full head of hair? Because when there she is.
So there's the website, sportsforkidstimmins.ca, and the email, sportsforkidstimmins@gmail.com, 705-266-3201. Awesome, right?
And you are so welcome, Colleen, to being on the show, and we'll have you again. And, keep us in the loop on what happens with Sports for Kids Timmins. Any updates, pass them along. We'll pass them along to our audience on a Sunday, Tuesday, and a Thursday.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so we have to pick someone. So we asked people to tell us what their best vacation was, or where they really want to go on vacation once all this craziness ends.
Yes.
So we had a lot of comments, Kinsman, but we can only have one prize to give away.
So
how we've done it in the past, you've given me a number, but I haven't told you whether I started from the top or the bottom, or I've done the scroll. You can't see what I'm doing, okay?
Yeah.
So I want you, this is how I think we're going to do it tonight.
Yes.
I want you to tell me whether I'm going to start from the top, the bottom, or the middle of the comments. You pick one.
Let's do the bottom. Let's do the bottom.
And you give me a number between 1 and 5. And once again,
5.
yeah.
I'll say lucky number 3. 3 is usually a lucky number. Yeah.
Okay, so the third last comment that I see on the StreamYard feed that talks about their vacation. Oh, sorry, Kinsman. Our sponsor said 4.
All right, well, let's do number 4.
And you seen the arms in Richard, right? So you don't want to,
You don't want to mess with Richard Wilson.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so we're going to go. The fourth comment, when I scroll up from the bottom that talks about their vacation, is our winner. All right?
Let's do it.
So bear with me. I have seen 1 now. I have seen 2 now.
2 more to go?
2 more to go. Okay. The pressure's on, Kinsman. There's third.
Who is it?
It's our guest. It's our
Colleen
guest,
Landers won it?
Landers. No joke. 4th up from the bottom. Yeah,
that's the bottom. Richard Wilson, you just gave Colleen Landers from Sports for Kids Timmins a great little din-din here. And again, this is from Josh from Domino's Timmins, providing us with, this is what Colleen's going to win, 2 free large pizzas, 3 topping with the cheesy bread, and a 2-liter of a Coke product. And again, Josh.
It looks like Kinsman's freezing on that end. All right, so.
Are you still there? I guess Jamie's frozen in time. Jamie, you've lost your connection.
Yes.
Yeah. What happened? Yeah.
I lost my connection. I came on, you went off, we went off, you went on. I don't know. You know why?
It was your connection.
Well, you know why? Because you almost didn't listen to Richard Wilson, his directions, and he shook the ground in Timmins and it knocked out the internet connection here in Porcupine.
Right.
So we're back. That's our first big technical glitch, by the way.
I don't know what happened. No.
Okay.
It wasn't my end. I could still see me. I couldn't see you. But anyhow, Colleen Landers from Sports for Kids Timmins, who was our guest, and again, randomly picked by Richard Wilson from Wilson's Elite Auto Detailing. He's now given Colleen the 2 large pizzas. I think I was cut off giving away the prize here. So let's do it again. This is from Josh at Domino's Timmins, 2 free large 3-topping pizzas, a cheesy bread, and a 2-liter of a Coke product. Colleen, just a time for KINZ and KLOMP Live and our Sunday pre-Super Bowl party here.
All right, so let me wrap up the next week and the rest of the week and say goodbye. Thursday night is Women in Business. We got on 3 amazing women that are running business here in the community.
Yes.
And then so that's at 7 o'clock. Sunday at 5 o'clock is our pre-Super Bowl party, live musical performances from Mitch Jean and Paul Sabalge. Tons of prizes, tons of funds. Hopefully no technical glitches, but we'll still get through it, right, Kins?
I think your dog tripped on the cord.
We're all good. Okay, I'll see you tonight.
All right, bud. We'll see you on Thursday.